Day 320. Ezekiel 3-4. Son of man, he said to me, eat what you find here. Eat this scroll, then go and speak to the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he fed me the scroll. Son of man, he said to me, eat and fill your stomach with this scroll I am giving you. So I ate, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. Then he said to me, Son of man, go now to the house of Israel and speak my words to them. For you are not being sent to a people of unfamiliar speech or difficult language, but to the house of Israel, not to the many peoples of unfamiliar speech and difficult language whose words you cannot understand. Surely if I had sent you to them, they would have listened to you. But the house of Israel will be unwilling to listen to you, since they are unwilling to listen to me. For the whole house of Israel is hard-headed and hard-hearted. Behold, I will make your face as hard as their faces, and your forehead as hard as their foreheads. I will make your forehead like a diamond, harder than flint. Do not be afraid of them or dismayed at their presence, even though they are a rebellious house. Son of man, he added, listen carefully to all the words I speak to you, and take them to heart. Go to your people, the exiles, speak to them and tell them, this is what the Lord God says, whether they listen or refuse to listen. Then the Spirit lifted me up, and I heard a great rumbling sound behind me, blessed be the glory of the Lord in his dwelling place. It was the sound of the wings of the living creatures brushing against one another and the sound of the wheels beside them, a great rumbling sound. So the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness and in the anger of my spirit, with the strong hand of the Lord upon me. I came to the exiles at Tel-abib who dwelt by the River Kebar. And for 7 days I sat where they sat and remained there among them, overwhelmed. At the end of 7 days the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Whenever you hear a word from my mouth, give them a warning from me. If I say to the wicked man, you will surely die, but you do not warn him or speak out to warn him from his wicked way to save his life, that wicked man will die in his iniquity, and I will hold you responsible for his blood. But if you warn a wicked man and he does not turn from his wickedness and his wicked way, he will die in his iniquity, but you will have saved yourself. Now if a righteous man turns from his righteousness and commits iniquity, and I put a stumbling block before him, he will die. If you did not warn him, he will die in his sin, and the righteous acts he did will not be remembered. And I will hold you responsible for his blood. But if you warn the righteous man not to sin, and he does not sin, he will indeed live because he heeded your warning, and you will have saved yourself. And there the hand of the Lord was upon me, and he said to me, Get up, go out to the plain. And there I will speak with you. So I got up and went out to the plain, and behold, the glory of the Lord was present there, like the glory I had seen by the river Kebar, and I fell face down. Then the Spirit entered me and set me on my feet. He spoke with me and said, Go, shut yourself inside your house. And you, son of man, they will tie with ropes, and you will be bound so that you cannot go out among the people. I will make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, and you will be silent and unable to rebuke them, though they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with you, I will open your mouth, and you are to tell them, This is what the Lord God says. Whoever listens, let him listen, and whoever refuses, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house. Now you, son of man, take a brick, place it before you, and draw on it the city of Jerusalem. Then lay siege against it, construct a siege wall, build a ramp to it, set up camps against it, and place battering rams around it on all sides. Then take an iron plate and set it up as an iron wall between yourself and the city. Turn your face toward it so that it is under siege, and besiege it. This will be a sign to the house of Israel. Then lie down on your left side and place the iniquity of the house of Israel upon yourself. You are to bear their iniquity for the number of days you lie on your side. For I have assigned to you 390 days, according to the number of years of their iniquity. So you shall bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. When you have completed these days, lie down again, but on your right side, and bear the iniquity of the house of Judah. I have assigned to you 40 days, a day for each year. You must turn your face toward the siege of Jerusalem with your arm bared, and prophesy against it. Now behold, I will tie you up with ropes so you cannot turn from side to side until you have finished the days of your siege. But take wheat, barley, beans, lentils, millet, and spelt, put them in a single container and make them into bread for yourself. This is what you are to eat during the 390 days you lie on your side. You are to weigh out 20 shekels of food to eat each day, and you are to eat it at set times. You are also to measure out 1/6 of a hin of water to drink, and you are to drink it at set times. And you shall eat the food as you would a barley cake, after you bake it over dried human excrement in the sight of the people. Then the Lord said, This is how the Israelites will eat their defiled bread among the nations to which I will banish them. Ah, Lord God, I said. I have never defiled myself. From my youth until now I have not eaten anything found dead or mauled by wild beasts. No unclean meat has ever entered my mouth. Look, he replied, I will let you use cow dung instead of human excrement, and you may bake your bread over that. Then he told me, Son of man, I am going to cut off the supply of food in Jerusalem. They will anxiously eat bread rationed by weight, and in despair they will drink water by measure. So they will lack food and water, they will be appalled at the sight of one another wasting away in their iniquity. Hebrews 11 verses 20-40. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning the future. By faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed each of Joseph's sons and worshipped as he leaned on the top of his staff. By faith Joseph, when his end was near, spoke about the exodus of the Israelites and gave instructions about his bones. By faith Moses' parents hid him for 3 months after his birth, because they saw that he was a beautiful child, and they were unafraid of the king's edict. By faith Moses, when he was grown, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. He chose to suffer oppression with God's people rather than to experience the fleeting enjoyment of sin. He valued disgrace for Christ above the treasures of Egypt, for he was looking ahead to his reward. By faith Moses left Egypt, not fearing the king's anger, he persevered because he saw him who is invisible. By faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, so that the destroyer of the firstborn would not touch Israel's own firstborn. By faith the people passed through the Red Sea as on dry land, but when the Egyptians tried to follow, they were drowned. By faith the walls of Jericho fell, after the people had marched around them for 7 days. By faith the prostitute Rahab, because she welcomed the spies in peace, did not perish with those who were disobedient. And what more shall I say? Time will not allow me to tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, David, Samuel, and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, administered justice, and gained what was promised, who shut the mouths of lions, quenched the raging fire, and escaped the edge of the sword, who gained strength from weakness, became mighty in battle, and put foreign armies to flight. Women received back their dead, raised to life again. Others were tortured and refused their release, so that they might gain a better resurrection. Still others endured mocking and flogging, and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawed in two, they were put to death by the sword. They went around in sheepskins and goatskins, destitute, oppressed, and mistreated. The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in deserts and mountains, and hid in caves and holes in the ground. These were all commended for their faith, yet they did not receive what was promised. God had planned something better for us, so that together with us they would be made perfect.